I thank you all very much for being here. I am honored to have all of you here. I have known so many of you for so long, and what Scott Schoonover didn't tell you is he coached me in softball. And if you look around the room, you can speak to my elementary piano teacher, and it is not her fault that I am not good at piano. A few special things before I get into everything this evening. First of all, to my husband, Matt, and to, I'll say all of the kids, but we have 3 out of 5. It seems like a survey, but 3 out of 5 made it this evening. My mom and dad, John and Shirley Longlet, my sister and brother-in-law, Sarah and Ross Bockold, and then my brother, Jeff and Tamara Longlet. They weren't able to be here this evening, but without all of them, I could not be where I am today. They helped make me who I am, along with so many of you who have played an integral role in my professional as well as my personal life. So once again, thank all of you, and when you have to open the divider, that's a good day. So. You've already met one of my committee members, Scott Schoonover, but I also wanted to recognize Chairman, retired appellate court Judge Kent Slater is the chairman of my committee, and I'm so grateful for his service and willingness to be here. Also, Michelle Dusterhouse, you met at the registration table this evening. Phil Conover, Mark Field were not able to be here this evening. The same with Scott Lewis, and then Randy Sims was here earlier. But they have all been kind enough to give me their time and support, and I am incredibly grateful because I can't do this without them. So with that, a lot of this has been covered, so I don't want to spend too much time with it. But last October, I got a phone call, and it's a call you never dreamed that you would receive. And when you speak with a Supreme Court justice, you get a little nervous, why are they calling? But ultimately that call and meeting with her ultimately ended up to her decision to recommend me to the Illinois Supreme Court for assignment to the 4th District. And her confidence in me and the unanimous support of her colleagues on the Illinois Supreme Court is absolutely humbling. I loved serving as a circuit court judge, but I was absolutely honored to accept that appointment. And after 6 years as a circuit court judge and handling many felony cases, I started that new judicial journey in December of this past year. Many of you have heard my sports analogies before, so I won't spend too much more time with those. At the appellate court, it's not just one judge, it's a panel of 3 judges that hears that appeal. There's no evidence, no witnesses, no jury trials, and it takes the majority of that panel to decide the outcome of the case. There are 9 justices on the 4th District Appellate Court, 2 of them are women, Justice Enoch and myself. So one of the questions I often get, is why does the appellate court matter? And I think that's been touched upon this evening. But I think one of the things I usually talk about is, it's probably not one of those things you think about every day, and you don't think about that unless you need it. So, warning, sports analogy. When you think about, a football game, and if you think about the pass interference call, and then they take that they throw the challenge flag. At that point, the standard of review is the incontrovertible visual evidence. And the appellate court is similar. When we review a case, we have to have a standard of review. And you don't think about that review until there's some type of challenge. In Illinois, you have a right to an appeal. And so whether it's a criminal or civil case, as long as those have followed the appropriate procedure, we have to take those appeals. And so we take all of those. The Supreme Court does have the option to take and decide which cases that they accept. So this matters because it involves your rights. Being a judge is a job of service. I've said this so many times. These are the people's cases, and we've been entrusted to handle them in a fair and impartial manner. And it's important that you know the judges that represent you at every level. It's been noted, Supreme Court Justice Lisa Holder White will also be on the ballot in 2024. I was privileged to receive her endorsement also for my candidacy. My colleague on the appellate court, Justice Jean Doherty, will also be on the ballot in 2024. And I was explaining, he is not running against me. It's a different vacancy. Very important to point that out. I didn't grow up dreaming necessarily about being a judge. As I think about it though, all of you helped prepare me for this moment. Working hard was certainly expected. As a young girl growing up in Liberty, I liked sports and 4-H. I started my own baseball card business with my brother, and that is when we learned for the first time about taxes. When it came to selling or trading cards, I learned quickly that trades occurred when both sides felt like they could reach an agreement. And those negotiation skills then helped prepare me for my legal career as an attorney almost 22 years ago now. After law school, I wanted to come back home, practice law with my father, John Lannerd, and with a little persuasion, he and George Lewis agreed that they would finally move the copier out of the copy room and allow me to have an office. When I started as an attorney, many of you in the room were kind enough to provide mentoring and guidance, and I will always be grateful to you for the help that you provided and helped me develop my professional skills. My private practice included real estate, estate planning, civil litigation, divorce and family, and as has been mentioned, banking. I became a family and divorce mediator also, and tried to help people address matters in difficult times. I always wanted each of my clients to feel like they had been heard and were treated fairly and respected. My legal experience and the mentors prepared me for my job as a circuit court judge, and I understood the great responsibility that comes with making difficult decisions. I've carried out those duties to make sure that everyone felt like they were heard when they came into the courtroom. I'll summarize one of my favorite quotes from Lincoln, but in essence it is, by all means, don't say if I can, say if I will. When you become a judge, you take an oath to uphold the Constitution of the state of Illinois and the Constitution of the United States of America. I take that oath seriously, and I will uphold that oath. I am privileged to represent the citizens of the 41 counties that make up the 4th District Appellate Court. I would like to continue to represent them beyond 2024, and that is why tonight I officially declare my candidacy for a full term for the 4th District Appellate Court. Thank you once again for being here. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America.